this is City Scrapper. Thank you so much for joining me today. I apologize that I am posting my Sunday share a little late this week. I have a number of layouts that I'd like to share with you today. The first layouts I'm going to show you are layouts that I created using my Creative Scrapbook kit from June. And I received this kit and I liked it, but I didn't use it right away. As I was creating my older daughter's college graduation scrapbook, I started to get a little tired of using the graduation themed items that I had. And when I looked at some of the photos, I realized they didn't necessarily have to be scrapbooked using papers and embellishments that were made specifically for graduation. So I used my June kit, and I am happy to say I have used up almost the entire kit. There's one layout that I showed last week, and there's another layout I'm working on now that I should be able to show next week. But I only have a few pieces of ephemera, a couple of chipboard pieces, and some scraps left over. I don't have any full pieces of paper left. So these are the layouts that I created using that kit. This layout was inspired by Paige Evans. Paige Evans posted a video in which she did a lot of paper tearing, and I did the same thing. My layers go vertically rather than horizontally as hers did, but her layout was the inspiration for this page. On this page, I do what I often do. I put mixed media in the background. I use watercolor sprays or distress oxide sprays. A lot of times I use my Vicky Bouton modeling paste, which I did right here using a stencil. I also put some white splatters on the background and some black splatters as well. In addition, I used a lot of the ephemera and some of the chipboard from the collection that was in the kit. And I have been trying very hard lately to journal on my pages, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit more in a few layouts, but I did include some journaling that goes with the picture. And I also use these die cuts. I have a bunch of these already cut out for when I use florals on my layouts. This picture was taken the day after my daughter graduated. The day after she graduated, this was last year, it was Mother's Day, and I thought these papers were great to use for Mother's Day. I didn't use any mixed media on this layout. I started with this cross of papers, this horizontal and this vertical area, and I added my picture. This frame was included in the kit. It was a punch out, and after I added the journaling block and some of the other elements, I added these circles in that I thought kind of brought things together. I was struggling with using these butterflies on some of the other pages. I did get some of the butterflies that look like this used on some of the pages, but there were a lot of them. I thought they were really beautiful and really colorful, and I decided that this would be a good way to get them onto a page and use them up. I used some self-adhesive pearls, and this is a Martha Stewart border punch, and I still have to do the journaling on this page. This is a grid design, as you could see. I decided that I was going to use these two pictures that are slightly less than 4 by 4, and there was a cut-apart sheet that was included in the kit, as Simple Stories has those beautiful cut-apart sheets, so I used 2 photos and 2 cut-apart sheets. And then after I had selected those, I layered some of the other cut-apart sheets and then some other pieces. They weren't from the kit, they just coordinated with the kit that I had already had, and I layered those up behind each of the clusters or each of the pictures and each of the cards to make clusters. This doily was already in my stash, so I thought it matched perfectly. I had sprayed it a while back, I don't remember for what, but I thought that matched really well with these papers. as you could see, I got a couple of butterflies on this page. I put this butterfly in the middle just to kind of join all of the clusters together. These are ripped papers that I had attempted to use on another layout, so I thought these went nicely down here. And then this banner is one of my favorite, it was made using one of my favorite dies. It's a Desire scalloped bunting die, and I like to punch out the whole thing and then put different colored pieces of paper over each part and cut it again so that I can have some different, a little bit of variation in the banner. You don't have to use it like that, but I like to use it like that, and I use that die quite a bit. I like it a lot. This page has some mixed media on the background. This green here is the mixed media. The background didn't really require a lot because it was a really pretty background and it already had quite a few things on it. So most of what I did was within this circle, and there's this strip. I included a button, some of these Prima rhinestone swirls, and the letters are letters that you can color yourself. So I just used some watercolor sprays, I wet them, and then I just kept applying the color at the bottom more than the top so that it would be a little bit of an ombre effect. So for this layout, I did things a little bit differently than I've been doing them lately. I have found that over the years, I've been kind of concerned about the pages looking, I don't know, maybe Instagram ready, where they are looking very polished. And as a result, I've stopped putting a lot of memorabilia that I collect along the way on the pages. And I want to start trying to get back to that. My family is so good to me. They always get me any brochures or menus or business cards, pamphlets, anytime we go somewhere new. So I do have all those things, and I'm ending up just putting them either in pockets in the scrapbook or I'll slip them behind the page. But I want to start going back to including them on the page. I really had a lot of fun making this page, and it came together pretty quickly. This part, and down here, these were all from brochures that were up at the counter that we saved, and I think it's great that they're on the page. It says the name of the place, which was Blaze Pizza, and I like this. This is a nice embellishment. I thought it was nice that it talked about how it was one of those like make your own pizza places. And I also included, my daughter and I, we don't eat cheese, so they had non-dairy cheese at Blaze Pizza, so I just highlighted that just to remember that. There was no really big story here, but now I'm glad that when I created this, I did use some of the memorabilia, and I feel like it adds a lot to the page and the memory. This last layout was made using a sketch from Scrap Happy, and this is my take on the sketch anyway. And when I saw the sketch, I was thinking that it really lent itself well to having a very busy background pattern paper. So I went to what I know to be my busiest background papers or pattern papers, which are the K & Company. And I found this one. I thought it was really beautiful, and was from a collection called Abriana, which is a very old collection. And once I picked that out, I trimmed it down a little bit and put this purple pattern paper and this yellow pattern paper behind it. Even though they're pattern papers, they serve as solids, so I thought that gave it a nice pop of color. I included some embellishments from the collection. This was a sticker that was really just green, so I added a couple of little flowers in all the different colors so that it would kind of match these other embellishments by being a lot of different colors. I had these two 4x4-inch photos that I trimmed. I'm sorry, I didn't trim the papers. I just trimmed some papers to go behind them and mounted them on two different colors of paper. I use these K & Company letters. I thought they were the perfect color for this layout. I've never used them before, but I thought they went well. And then the most important part was the sketch, in addition to having a nice big background where you could put a nice pattern paper that was busy, it also lent itself to a lot of journaling. And something that I've been trying to do, probably mainly from doing load challenges where the focus is on the story, and then also listening to Alice Bowl, who is the leader of the Scrap Happy group. She's been doing podcasts, and some of her podcasts are really inspiring me to tell the story instead of just putting pictures on a page, really thinking about what the story is behind the pictures and recording it before it's forgotten. So this layout is called Priceless, and the story behind these pictures is I was getting myself kind of crazy over trying to think of the perfect gift for my daughter for college, for her college graduation. And she's a sweetheart. She is one of the most unmaterialistic people that I've ever met. And she would be happy with whatever we got for her. But I was kind of doing it to myself, making myself kind of crazy, thinking this is such a big accomplishment. What could I buy her to really celebrate this occasion the way that it should be celebrated? And I could have just made a page in which I showed her, this is what I got you, these were your presents. But when I thought about it, I was thinking about how I did want to communicate to her that I was thinking very hard about trying to pick out the perfect present, and also that there really is no way to reward somebody for something like that, that the reward is really in learning to work hard, learning to go after your dreams and to not give up and to be persistent. And I feel like those are the real rewards in life, on top of getting a college diploma. Those are the true rewards. So I was glad that I told the story in a way that wasn't just a very surface telling of what happened, but really trying to dig a little bit deeper and tell more of a heartfelt story about the pictures. That is a goal of mine. I feel that sometimes journaling on a page can take away from the overall appearance of my layouts. I feel that way anyway, sometimes. And a lot of times I'm so involved in the design of the page that I don't really want to have a big block of journaling. And this layout is actually so nicely suited to journaling. I don't feel like the journaling takes away from the layout at all. But sometimes I do feel that way, and I really want to make it a point to include things like tags that I can tuck behind the picture that have the story on them, or include it in the body of the layout like this, or sometimes just having a little block, even if I type it. But I really want to get back to telling the stories behind the photos, and this is my first attempt. So I want to say thank you so much for joining me for this Sunday share. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I hope that you'll give my video a thumbs up. Thank you so much to my current subscribers. And if you're not a current subscriber, I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel. I hope everybody has a fantastic day. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you again soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.